Hello everyone, I'm TrungX from AmazingTrungX. I'm delighted that you're interested in our creative diorama videos. I'm a big fan of Godzilla, and I love working on various projects related to Big G. So, this time, I'm creating a diorama featuring Big G using his atomic breath, as seen in the 2019 movie. What do you think of this sketch? It should look familiar to fellow Big G fans like myself, right? Let's get started. As usual, I use steel wire to create the frame, which acts like the skeleton. The longest steel wire runs from the neck to the spine and ends at the tail. I also craft the pelvic frame. 2 legs, shoulder, and 2 arms. Thread is used to secure positions, and super glue strengthens the threads. Creating a wireframe allows me control the proportions and dimensions of the character I want to make. Once the steel wire frame is complete, I put aluminum foil inside and also wrap it around the legs, arms, and tail of Big G. If the steel wire frame is the skeleton, then the silver paper is like the flesh that wraps around it. It looks a bit rough, doesn't it? I'll make Big G's skin softer. Now let's work on his skin with more detail. Oh, it seems like I was a bit lazy. His skin doesn't look right at all, too rough and uneven. I'll fix it. Time for a fresh start. Starting with the neck, which has rows of spikes and gills. I'll also mark scales on the legs and arms. The tail will have ridges on both sides, and also the vertebrae. Don't forget the dorsal spines, a favorite of mine. Now, let's watch a stop-motion clip together. Now, we'll make the skin details more elaborate. Depicting the fine layers of Big G's skin is essential and requires attention to detail. The small scale of this model makes it a bit challenging, but I'm up for the task. Okay, this tail seems too short. I'll extend it and make some adjustments. That's it. I'm quite satisfied with this clay sculpture of Godzilla. What about you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. In this diorama, I'm creating Big G with the design of the American version, which differs in many aspects from the original Japanese version. In recent Hollywood-produced Big G films, the scenes he appears in are often dark, and I'm not sure what his actual skin color looks like. So, I've chosen a color scheme that I believe suits him best, dark with a touch of brown. The spikes on his back will be in shades of blue when Big G uses atomic breath. I'll show you the final painted result soon. Now, I've placed Big G next to my son's toy. They look quite alike, don't they? For the scene of Godzilla breathing atomic energy while standing in the sea, I need to create a mold and use epoxy resin to make the seawater. In this diorama, the amount of epoxy resin used is not as much as in the previous projects. I'd like to thank Let's Resin for providing me with this excellent epoxy resin. This is the second diorama I've used it, and it's one of my favorites. I believe many viewers will be interested in this product, so I'll include a link to their store in the description and comment section. I tinted the resin with a shade of blue to resemble the seawater in the movie. This time, I'll need the resin to be about 1.5 inches thick. While waiting for the resin to dry, I'll work on the backdrop. It has a dark tone, some clouds, and something resembling a falling meteorite that ignites. Let's begin. I'm using a plastic sheet to create the backdrop and the upper support sheet. The backdrop will be painted dark blue, and the upper support sheet will have holes for attaching lights. The most impressive part of this scene is the glowing atomic breath column, and also the on-fire meteorites. I used fiber optic lights to create them. Smaller diameter threads will be used for crafting the meteorites, wrapped with paper to produce the black smoke effect. Larger diameter ones will be used for the atomic energy column. I combined two circular LED panels with color-adjustable controls. One LED panel only has one lighting spot, serves as the light source for the atomic energy column. The other LED panel has 5 to 6 light spots, which are used for the falling meteorites. The clouds will be made of cotton painted dark. The resin from yesterday hasn't completely dried yet, but I can demold it. I have to demold it earlier than planned, otherwise, I won't be able to finish the video for this week. I'll also do a little touch-up for Big G. I'm refining the edges of the resin block a bit. Now, I'm using hot glue to create some waves around Big G. They might not look perfect, but they are acceptable, and the crucial thing is that they dry very quickly. Time is running out as the editor needs the footage to complete the video. The job is about 90% complete. I'm attaching the LED panels to the backdrop and the upper supporting sheet. The light on the backdrop is too bright, so I've moved it slightly away and added a filter to reduce its intensity. The dark cotton balls will be attached to both the backdrop and the upper part. Afterward, I'll proceed to attach the meteorites to the diorama. This atomic breath column looks a bit too plain, right? I'm using hot stick glue to add an outer layer, making the top slightly larger. One end will be attached to the light source, and the other end will be connected to Big G's mouth. There you have it. What do you think of the lighting in this diorama? Let's take a look together.